college girl cheat on her boyfriend to be with bad boy. Once upon a college adventure, we meet Tessa, a spirited girl embarking on her first day in a shiny new college that's a bit of a trek. Her mother and boyfriend play the roles of chauffeurs, dropping her off at the college dorm. There she encounters two vivacious girls, Steph and the charming Tristan. These ladies are the life of the dorm, leaving an impression that's hard to ignore. But oh, there's a slight detour when Tessa's mother catches a whiff of something suspicious and makes a swift exit. Tessa, ever the responsible one, follows her, urging her not to make a scene. A promise of trust is exchanged, and with her mother's well wishes, Tessa begins her college journey. The boyfriend bids farewell after a sweet kiss, leaving Tessa to navigate her new room where Steph, with her curiosity at its peak, quizzes Tessa about her mother's reaction. A slight misunderstanding arises when Steph assumes Tessa's brother is cute, but Tessa clarifies that he's actually her boyfriend. Steph, unbothered, takes her leave. The next day, Tessa's enthusiasm is palpable as she ventures into her first class, encountering Landon, an English major, in contrast to Tessa's chosen field of economics. The excitement for her classes is evident. Back at the dorm, after a refreshing bath, Tessa is startled to find a guy calmly reading a book in her room. A swift request for him to leave is met with a nonchalant response. He's Steph's friend. Despite initial reservations, Tessa is invited to a party, and the mysterious guy confidently predicts she won't attend. Before departing, he spills the ending of the book Tessa was reading, Great Gatsby, spoiling it for her. The following day, the uncomfortable encounters persist in the library, where Tessa once again crosses paths with the mysterious guy. Steve extends an invitation to a party, and though reluctant, Tessa decides to shake things up a bit, choosing a dress that raises Steph's eyebrows for being too formal. They head to the party filled with lively festivities. Tessa is introduced to Steph's friends, and a harmless game of truth or dare takes an unexpected turn. A rude comment sparks tension, and Tessa opts for a dare, leading to an encounter with the group's bad guy. Disturbed, she calls her boyfriend, Noah, who scolds her for drinking, leading to a somewhat abrupt end to their conversation. Seeking solace, Tessa finds herself in an empty storage room surrounded by books. The bad guy reappears, and with a hint of intrigue, he reveals it's his room. A tempting dare hangs in the air, but Tessa, torn, walks away just before things escalate. Texts from Noah accompany her journey back to her room. The next day in class, Tessa finds a familiar face, Landon, and sits beside him. Unbeknownst to her, the mysterious guy from the party is none other than Hardin Scott. A heated discussion in class reveals Hardin's cynical view on love as a transaction, while Tessa passionately argues for the importance of respect. After class, Hardin commends her, deeming their conversation exciting before vanishing into the college atmosphere. And so the plot thickens in this college tale of love and conflicting perspectives. In the midst of this collegiate drama, Tessa finds herself complaining to Landon about the arrogance she perceives in Hardin. To her surprise, she discovers that Hardin is actually related to Landon. Their parents are dating, though their relationship is anything but amicable. As night falls, Steve invites Tessa to join her in getting a tattoo, a proposition that opens the door to Tessa's revelation about her limited dating history. Noah, her current boyfriend, holds the exclusive title of being the only person she's ever dated, and her mother envisions a future where they'll eventually tie the knot. However, the night takes an unexpected turn when Tessa witnesses Steph sharing intimate moments with her girlfriend. The following day, a chance encounter with Hardin prompts him to ask Tessa to start over and be friends, citing Steph as their mutual connection. Despite initial reservations, Tessa agrees to explore this newfound connection. They venture into the unknown, driving miles away to a forest. At a serene lake, Hardin reveals his favorite spot and encourages Tessa to swim. A spontaneous dive into the water ensues, accompanied by moments of vulnerability and a passionate exchange. As the conversation deepens, Hardin shares his love for Tessa while learning about her high school sweetheart Noah. In a whimsical moment, he teaches her the art of silence underwater. The chemistry between them intensifies, with each touch evoking a breathless response from Tessa. However, their passionate encounter takes an unexpected turn when Hardin, despite their connection, asserts that they can never truly be friends. Later, at a bar, Tessa attempts to unravel the mysteries of Hardin's past, but he remains elusive. The atmosphere lightens as he dismisses his cynical beliefs about love, leaving Tessa in fits of laughter. However, the arrival of Steph and another friend triggers a shift in Hardin's demeanor, and he ultimately reveals that his no-dating policy remains intact. Back in her dorm, the next morning, Tessa is startled to find Hardin sitting next to her, only to realize it was a dream. The following day, her boyfriend Noah surprises her with flowers, a gesture that leaves her in disbelief. The night unfolds at a party, where tensions rise during a game. Hardin's intervention leads to a confrontation, and he exits abruptly, leaving Tessa in a state of unease. Later, she receives a call from Landon, learning that Hardin mentioned her during a fight between them. Concerned, she meets Landon, who discloses Hardin's troubled family situation. A shattered glass and a small injury lead to an apology from Hardin, who opens up about his messy life. Tessa, recognizing her own messiness, shares a night intimate moments with him. When she returns to Noah, the tension between them is palpable. Hardin's presence only worsens the situation, and Noah departs in realization. Devastated, Tessa faces judgment from others, feeling like she's lost a best friend. Her sadness permeates her classes as she attempts to reconnect with Noah. One day, a chance meeting with Hardin prompts a conversation where Tessa reveals the pain of her father leaving when she was 10 and Noah stepping in as her support. The complexities of her emotions unravel in the tumultuous web of love and friendship. Their blossoming relationship took a playful turn one day when Hardin convinced Tessa to stay past closing hours at the library. With a book in hand, he read to her while she sat comfortably in his lap. The duo found themselves laughing as security chased them away, creating a memorable moment etched into their shared history. Their connection didn't go unnoticed by friends, with Hardin's unwavering affection often on display, disrupting even Tessa's class routine. A pivotal moment arises when Tessa catches Hardin writing something in a notebook, igniting her curiosity. Teasing ensues, but before long, their teasing evolves into tender romantic moments. However, their newfound intimacy is abruptly interrupted when Tessa's mother unexpectedly opens the door, discovering them in a compromising position. The ensuing confrontation leaves Tessa defending her choices against her angry and emotional mother's accusations. The strained relationship with her mother prompts a dire prediction: that Hardin will break her heart and cut her off from her family. Seeking advice, Tessa confides in Landon, who warns her of Hardin's complexity and advises caution. Undeterred, Tessa and Hardin decide to move in together, finding solace in a friend of Hardin's father's who resides in Italy. Their days are filled with laughter and shared moments, solidifying their bond. Hardin, however, struggles with feelings of unworthiness, while Tessa remains steadfast in her love for him. The couple attends a wedding party for Hardin and Landon's parents, meeting with Karen and Hardin's father. The celebration takes a dark turn when Hardin's father, despite praising him, reveals a painful family history involving a traumatic incident from his past. Tessa, witnessing Hardin's vulnerability, attempts to comfort him, leading to an intimate moment. Amidst jealousy from Molly and Tessa's encounter with her, Molly's inquiry into Hardin's past raises suspicions. A video reveals a shocking dare from the past. Hardin's mission to make Tessa fall in love with him, only to turn it off afterward. Devastated, Tessa confronts Hardin, who insists his feelings are genuine. The revelation leaves Tessa feeling profoundly alone, seeking solace with her mother and eventually reconciling with Noah. Returning to the university, Tessa decides to change her major from economics to English and receives an interview invitation. for an internship at Vance Publishing. Meanwhile, Hardin grapples with their separation, shedding tears over memories of their time together. In a lecture, Tessa receives an envelope from her teacher, a note from Hardin, expressing how the gesture is more for her than for himself. Discovering drawings of her in Hardin's notebook, Tessa reads a heartfelt letter where he confesses to once considering love as fiction until he found his Elizabeth Bennet. He pleads for forgiveness, declaring Tessa as the person he loves most in the world. And so, the movie concludes, leaving the audience with the lingering emotions of love, heartbreak, and forgiveness. Thank you for joining us in this thrilling journey. If you enjoyed this story and crave more spine-tingling narratives, make sure to like and subscribe to Black's Movie Recaps. Don't miss out on the latest and most heartwarming tales of love, passion, and romance. Stay tuned for more enchanting recaps. And until next time,